Donald Trump nearly slipped and fell on his ass today when he was getting into a Donald Trump trash truck campaign stop where Donald Trump is really trying to appeal to the blue collar worker and respond to the Puerto Rican is an island of trash joke at his Madison Square Garden Nazi rally. Sorry, campaign rally. Now, in this next clip, you're going to see that it's raining, and so it's slippery. So you got to give Donald Trump like a little bit of credit for trying to get into this trash truck, but you'll also see that the guy's just not very graceful. I mean, he's getting older. He's almost 80 years old. And MAGA loves to portray this guy like he's, if you haven't seen the NFTs or the images of him as this kind of super yoked superhero or a Pittsburgh Steeler who's just, his arms are bulging and he looks like he's 350 pounds of just pure muscle. That's not what Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is a kind of clumsy, goofy, dancing 80-year-old who, is, by the way, a racist fascist. So let's watch Donald Trump try to get in to the trash truck.
250 million people are not garbage. I can tell you who the real garbage is, but we won't say that.
So as you can see there, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. What would have been a big deal is if he didn't catch himself and fell, possibly breaking a hip. I mean, who knows at this point with Donald Trump what could happen? When you get to 80 years old, a fall like that could lead to some pretty serious health consequences. He did manage to catch himself, but again, the guy is not the graceful athlete that MAGA says he is. Now, he responded to the trash truck incident at the next campaign stop with Brett Favre. And this clip is just going to show you how kind of irresponsible Donald Trump is with the language that he uses. And that, again, it's just always about himself and making himself appear to be someone that he's not.
I climbed into the truck, but so I said, how the hell do you get into this truck? It's way up high. It's a big one. This was a beauty. I said, you didn't have to buy it that big, right? You have to get it that big? They brought this brand new, gorgeous truck, wonderful driver. He looked like Cary Grant in his prime. You know who that is? This beautiful driver. And he drove that big thing up. And I said, man, this is bad, because now I have all the cameras are all what? Look at all the fake news. They were, most of them. No, most of them, many of them were there. And I'm saying, oh, boy, one little mistake with these guys and your political career is over. You can't even. So I said, man, if I don't get up there, this is going to be very embarrassing. These stupid people, they'll say, he's cognitively and physically impaired. And I can't do that when I'm alongside of this great athlete. I got to get up to that. So look, the first stair is like up here. I'm saying, shit. So I had the adrenaline going and I made it.
Today's video is sponsored by Aura, an online security company that I am incredibly proud to be partnering with to bring you a better sense of security online. Because recently, hackers may have stolen every American's social security number. These stolen records include a person's full name, their address, their date of birth, their phone number, and members of this hacking group have released all of the information online for free. So if you weren't taking precautions with your personal information online before, this should be the time to take action, because you've never been more vulnerable than you are right now. But I'm not too worried because I've recently started using Aura. Aura that tracks my public information, including my social security number, across billions of data points online, including the dark web and public court records in case of identity theft. They also provide you a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside a very easy to use app. You can go to aura.com/reflect to get 2 weeks free, which will give Aura plenty of time to see if any of your personal records have been leaked online. Why wait for another national public data breach to secure your online information? So be sure to go now to aura.com/reflect to get your 2 weeks free. Donald Trump there, of course, cussing with over his back shoulder. You can see looks like a 4-year-old girl being carried by her father. Just kind of gives that picture that Donald Trump, he doesn't care about the future generations of this country. He doesn't care about the kids of this country. The world under Donald Trump is darker and more vulgar than it is under pretty much anyone else. Now, Trump's trash truck debacle, the near fall wasn't as bad as the rest of it was, because he not only, you saw there at the beginning where he essentially called, Democrats, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, trash, which he then went on to later when he was talking to reporters. But when he was answering questions, the guy tried to do his weave thing all over the place with the election, and you can kind of see a few minutes into him talking with reporters, you can kind of see that he gets asked about the election and he kind of loses his way, because with Donald Trump and his, the mind that he has, he's only got seconds of an attention span. But, after a few minutes, his brain just goes. And that's what you're going to see here with him talking to reporters.
President Trump, you said the other day that the guard or the military could be used on election day. Can you be more specific about what that would look like?
Any questions?
Sir, RFK Jr. said that you promised to control the public health agency and that you were to win. Is that accurate?
I can't. You have to speak louder.
Sir, RFK Jr. said that you promised him control of public health agencies if you were to win. Is that true? Is that accurate?
Well, we'll work with him, and he's a very talented guy. He wants women's health. He wants health for people. And we're going to work with him. He's a very, very talented guy. He's a friend of mine.
President Trump, you said the other day that the Democrats are going to backfire.
I think the Democrats have done a very poor job. We're leading in every state. We're leading big, and I think that the comment made by really both of them, because there are really two of them, about being garbage, maybe 250 million people, they shouldn't be talking. That's deplorable for Hillary. This is the deplorable for Hillary. And I think this is worse, actually. For Joe Biden to make that statement, it's really a disgrace.
President Trump, you said the other day that the military could be used, that the military or the National Guard could be used on election day if necessary. Can you explain what you meant by that in the details?
I don't think they'll have to be used. I think we're going to have a big victory. And I think 250 million people in this country are going to be very happy, because we're going to bring the country back. We're a nation in decline, very, very serious decline. And we're going to bring our country back.
Did you know that Elon Musk was in close contact with President Putin? Did you know about this? Did you know about Elon Musk calls and close communication with President?
Elon is a great guy. He's one of our geniuses, and we have to protect our geniuses. We have to take care of our geniuses.
Mr. President, there's a report that you...
Yes,
you owe people in Puerto Rico an apology for what the comedian said.
I love Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico loves me. I don't know anything about a comedian. I love Puerto Rico. Nobody's done more for Puerto Rico than me. I took care of them when they had the big hurricanes, and nobody gets along better with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people than me. They love me, and I love them. Go ahead, Mr. President. What do I want? I don't know anything about the comedian. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him. I heard he made a statement, but it was just a statement that he made. He's a comedian. What can I tell you? I know nothing about him. I don't know why he's there. You put comedians up, and I guess he went on earlier in the show. I don't know who he is.
Did you make a joke with you? Is Steve Bannon going to campaign with you now that he's out of prison?
I don't know, but I think he's a terrific guy. I think he was treated very unfairly.
Mr. President, you've been talking about Democrats cheating. Could you imagine any circumstances under which you would be defeated but not say that the election was stolen?
If it was a corrupt election, that could happen. But so far, we're doing pretty well. They found a lot of smaller things in Pennsylvania, as you know, and I think they've been corrupted and taken care of. They were corrupt. They were corrupted, but I think it's been taken care of.
On that subject, you called for law enforcement to investigate.
I was going to say, do you anticipate to declare victory on election night?
I hope that we're going to declare a victory. I mean, they spend all that money on machines. Paper ballots cost you 8% of what a machine costs, 8%. And it's encrypted paper, it's watermarked paper, it's very secure. Your elections would be over at 10 o'clock, and that's when you can announce something and there would be no question. And we're not talking about more money, we're talking about a tiny fraction of the money. You want paper, ideally, you want one-day voting, and I think it's just very important. You have to have the country and you have to have voter ID, and you have a great election. And you're talking about 8% of the cost. It's like very sad when you get machines, you pay all that money, and they talk about 3 days later. I think we're going to have a big enough victory to maybe have it that night. You should always have it, Bill. Every night. If you look at France, 38 million votes. At 10 o'clock in the evening, it was over. All paper ballots, all voter ID, one-day voting, and it was over. How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
President Trump, you asked for law enforcement to investigate in Pennsylvania. If they find no evidence of cheating, will you accept the result if you lose?
Well, I guess they had quite a few ballots, 2,600 ballots, where the same person was signing.
Right. But if they find no evidence of cheating, will you accept the results?
Of Pennsylvania, sure. Oh, if they find no evidence of cheating anywhere, I'll accept the results. I hope that's going to be the case. Win, lose, or draw, I hope that's going to be the case.
Sir, in Bucks County.
Now listen, I have to do something because Brett Favre is a great guy. He just endorsed me, and he's very important at this moment. I mean, he's got a little problem for himself, and I thought it was very brave that he came out. And I want to go over and see Brett Favre. We're all going together, I assume. You're going over. I'm going to make a speech. We're going to then try and beat the weather out because we have some bad weather coming in. But I just wanted to let you know that 250 million people, that's what I think the real number is for making America great again. 250 million, the real number. They don't think in terms of garbage, okay? They don't use terms like that. And it's a shame. And Joe Biden should be ashamed of himself if he knows what he's even doing. And she should be ashamed because she shouldn't let him do it. She's the vice president, but I assume she's acting as the president. She should never have let that happen. I hope you enjoyed this garbage truck. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there you go. Donald Trump almost falling and breaking his hip, showing us that he is not the superhero that MAGA, portrays him as in some of these just ridiculous images. And then you have him talking about the election and saying that, how dare Joe Biden call any American trash, the 250 million number, like where is that even coming from? Does he think there are 250 million Americans in the country? Because he's like almost 75 million off. I'm just, his brain is old, his body is old. He is not ready to be the president of the United States. With only a few days left, errors like this really show you who Donald Trump is.